Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The subject is Advanced Corporate Finance. In today's lecture, we will discuss a common stock. These common stock are also called ordinary shareholder. These common stock have another name that is called ordinary shareholder. In today's lecture, we will discuss common stock features, what are its attributes, means that ordinary, in British terms, it is called ordinary shares. While in American jargon, it is called ordinary shares. Stock is basically American terms, while in British it's called shares. So what are its features? Type of common stock or common shares or ordinary shares. Values. There are different values that we heard about these common stock. Value. Right of the common shareholders. Voting procedures. Moving further, common stock and its feature, we will discuss it. What is common stock? Common stock is basically a security that represent the ultimate ownership position in the organizations. These common stock are placed below all claim holder, even claims on earnings, claims on asset in case of liquidation. First you will give the right to the outsider party, then longer term creditor, then preferred stockholder, then common stockholder. But the claim which, when these all are claims are fulfilled, no matter how much claim is left, that is whole for the common shareholders or common stockholders. So they are ultimate owner, as well as the second terms which is used here is very important, that is risk. They also bear a risk as well. Risk of what? Risk of liquidation, risk of their whole investment, and they take a risk in order to earn profit. While these other parties do not bear a risk, they just want to ensure their return on their investment in the companies. There are certain terms which are used in regarding these common share, ordinary shareholder or common stock. One is authorized shares. Basically, when company is incorporated, at the initial stage, two documents which are called company statutes, that is called Article of Association and Memorandum of Associations. These two documents are basically is responsible to run the company. These two documents are drafted very carefully. So in Article of Association, when the company is incorporated, there is a clause in it that how much authorized share are available. Let's suppose the company is given that 500,000, that is just an example, 500,000 shares is authorized stock. So this just will appear on the balance sheet, but will not contribute to the addition or subtraction of the financial positions. It is just mentioned in the face of balance sheet that how much authorized capital the company have. If the company increase or grow so rapidly, there is a need to increase this authorized shareholding. The company may change it through a resolution in a board of director, and that will be approved by the shareholders. So this is not the first and the final figure. but it can be changed with with the help of shareholder approval. So it is this is authorized how they that much share company are issued can issue. What is issued shares? Now out of this authorized capital, the company needs certain financing. Let's suppose according to their financing, the company issue, let's suppose 200,000 200,000 or 2 lakh share are issued by the company. Issued to whom? Issued to external investor. These shareholder buy this issue. These shares are in the hand of investor who run and manage the company. These are called issued share. Issued share is basically when these investor paid to the company fully amount that are described on the face of or by the company at issuance price. These investors when fully paid are subscribed to this share and whole amount is collected by the company. We call it these shares are outstanding shares. So issued shares and outstanding share are one and same thing, but sometimes the company issued a share but full subscription are not yet received from the investors. When the investor fully subscribe to the share and share is there with investor, we call it outstanding share. So in balance sheet we call it issued and outstanding shares, or simply if said outstanding share, it is more than enough. Type of common stock value. It is par value. What is par value? So par value is basically face value that are written in the memorandum article of association in authorized capital class. Article of association. Let's suppose when we say that there is 500,000 shares, means 5 lakh shares. Then we also there is a rate at a rate of, let's suppose, rupees 10 each. This is recorded value of the company in the book or in the company's article of association. It has nothing got to do with any market value or any other value. So 10 per share is the value of the shareholder per share. Further, it is merely a recorded value. As I mentioned earlier, figure in the corporate charter, which this corporate charter is called article of association and memorandum of association. To document make corporate charter. Charter means the company statutes, company आइन कंपनी का and is of little economic consequences. It have nothing got to do with the economic activity of the company. Second is the shareholder the stock should never be issued below at a par value. Yes, this is one of the important points, that the company is not allowed, any company is not allowed to issue its share below 10. So in this case, the company is not allowed to issue share at 9, at 5. As shareholder would be legally liable for any discount from par if the firm is liquidated. In case of liquidation, the shareholder are also penalized for this decrease in par value of the company if the company have not enough or sufficient assets to fulfill all the claims. So a company may issue their stock at, let's suppose it let up 11, 12, 13, 14 and so on. Sometimes it depends on the country statute as well, that the company may issue a share at discount or not, but most probably in very rare cases it happens. Common stock is authorized without par value. No par stock is carried on the book of the original market price or some assigned stated value. Common stock is authorized without par value. So basically, common stock never carry its par value everywhere. It is just in the book of account. So original market price are assigned to this common stock. The market price is basically the price at which the currently share is traded on stock exchange. The difference between, let me give you an example. If the company issue, let's suppose 200,000 at 12, this 10 out of, let's suppose the company have a share have a par value of 10 and the company issued at 12 per share, so the 2 rupees extra 2 rupees is called additional paid in capital. This 10 is called common stock value, while this extra, which is above the par value, is called additional premium capital. The difference between issuing price and the par value or stated value is called additional paid in capital. Example of common stock value. Let's suppose there is a company ASF Limited, SEF Limited, who have a common stock $1 par value, 100,000 shares issued and outstanding, that much issues. Now what we if it is issued, let's suppose that is common stock and that is additional paid in capital. How additional capital? These 100,000 shares are issued at $5 per share by the company, because the company know that its share can be traded, or it's have a growth perspective. People will buy, or investor will buy their share at $5 per share. So what will happen? How we will make an entry? 1 rupees of out of these $1 out of these $5 multiplied by this 1 lakh shares will be treated here, while 4 out of these $5 multiplied by 4 multiplied by this 100 shares will come to additional paid in capital. As we said that any difference between issuance price and par value will be treated as additional paid in capital. This retained earning figures come from the profit that are left and available to the shareholder. Everything have been deducted from profit each year since the inception of the company, and this amount accumulated over the year. Each year, if the company make a profit, it is added to this retained earning. If the company make a loss, it is deducted from the profit is added, while losses are deducted from this common stock, retained earnings. So total equity is how much? 1.15 million shares, 1.15 million dollars. The par value of ACA Limited is 1 per share. This value is not likely to change over a time from normal day-to-day operation. So that is a recorded value, it never change. Type of common stock value. Book value, as we discuss, par value have been already discussed. Now we will discuss book value. When total shareholder equity, common stock, additional paid-in capital, retained earnings, and any other reserves, when all these added, this total figure when divided by number of share outstanding and is, let's suppose, O, that is called book value of the common stock. Shareholder equity is listed on balance sheet divided by number of share outstanding is called book value per share. Liquidation value. If the value per share, if the firm assets are sold separately from operating organization, if the company ceases to exist, become no more going concern entity, then in this case when the assets are sold and the total amount have been calculated and then divided on a number of shares, it's called liquidating value. This value may be less or greater than the book value. Rarely these two values become identical. So this is basically how it is calculated. An expert comes and sell its assets, and when the amount proceeds come to the hand of this liquidator, and then all amount are added. After that, this total amount is divided by number of shares, then called liquidating value. Example of book value per share. Again, the same example is here. Here's a company called ACF Limited who have 100,000 share outstanding at a par value of $1. So its common stock is 100,000. Additional paid-in capital is 400,000. Retained earnings is $650,000. And total is 1.15 million share equity. So when this equity is divided by this outstanding share, we will get what? We will get the book value of the share. The book value per share of ACF Limited is determined by dividing the total shareholder equity, that is $1.15, by the share outstanding, that is 100,000 shares, which yield a book value of 11.5 per shares. This value is not likely to change over time for normal day-to-day operation, but it is changed with retained earnings or any revaluation reserves or any other changes in these figures. Common stock market value. What is market value? We'll discuss it. The current price at which the stock is currently trading. When these shares are issued to investor, it will not held by the investor forever. There are organized stock exchanges. In Pakistan, let's suppose Pakistan Stock Exchange, NYCE, New York Stock Exchange, is very famous in our in our books, because it is written by mostly American authors. These stock exchange function is that there are listed companies, shares are traded here. So daily screen is available and daily prices are available. When these investors buy this share of the company, it quoted price are there, they can sell and buy any number of shares anytime. So this price, when there appear in the stock market screen, it's called market value of the company on which the shares currently traded. This value is usually greater than book value. Why book value? Because of multiple reasons. Investor sentiment, investor perception, herd behavior, any economic activities, any political activities in the country. So all these things affect the share prices of the company, but can occasionally be less than book value. It is hard when we heard that. It's rare that we hear about the company that have market value is less than their book value. For the firms are expected to be in financial difficulties. This type of firms are never good in their growth. But it is hard. It is also rare that two values, market value and book value, are identical. Market value per share may be difficult to obtain from thinly traded securities. It changes over a time. It changes every second when the stock market is open. So it is closing prices always quoted as market price for that day. In opening prices for the this closing prices for quoted as a market price of the shares. Typically, share of a new companies are traded in the over-the-counter market. This is not available in Pakistan. OTC market, where dealer maintain an inventory of the stock to provide additional liquidity. But over the market is just one market there in America, which is called NASDAQ, National Association of Dealer. Commissions. So that is basically National Security Dealer Association Commission. NASDAQ is basically available. That is one of the OTC market in the United States. This is all about today's lecture. Thank you. See you in a coming lecture.